You have been lied to. You have been lied to about work. You have been lied to. Now, I took this from this is the truth about work for the Gaelic people. Now, this bit at the beginning I took from the Book of Wisdom, who is also on YouTube. He talks about the spells in the English language, and there's many, many spells in the English language. And to the conscious mind, it just looks like it's a word. But it speaks to what is known as the unconscious mind. Now, I'm going to say there is no unconscious mind. Where is it? We have our brain, which thinks. We have intelligence in our heart. I'm going to say, we have intelligence in all organs of our body, in all the chakras. But where's the unconscious mind? It's not in the body. And I'm going to say the unconscious mind is just a word that's been put on certain processes that people see. And a better word for it is your warrior spirit. Your warrior spirit that you speak to and that speaks to you. The unconscious mind. But the Book of Wisdom talks about these spells that are put into the English language, like weekday. A weekday where you feel weak. A weekday. Or, because phonetic, it's not spelled the same, but phonetics are the same. Or the weekend, where you're weakened. The weekend where you're weakened. In Ireland, this was not the case. These same spells were not put in. A weekday, when you speak Gaelic Irish, is lá oibre. Lá oibre. But it doesn't mean the same. It's not even close to the same. First of all, it's not a weekday. It's a work day. Technically, it's called a work day. But oibre was not work in the way that we see work today. Oibre was very different. Lá oibre. It's very, very different. And by the way, if I get any of this wrong, I'm learning. I'm in the process of learning. So whatever I get wrong, I know I have incredibly intelligent people more intelligent than me. And as I say that, I'm thinking of Randall. But many, many others. Natural born Irish man, Tam. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. Lá oibre. Oibre didn't mean work as we know work today. Oibre meant various things. Lá oibre or oibre had a much deeper meaning than we know work today. Today we know work, which is fine, as a list of tasks from a boss that we have to complete. And the Gaelic people are natural entrepreneurs. I talked to a guy who he's my mechanic. He runs a car shop. He's my mechanic. And he says he doesn't care. He doesn't care if he loses money or makes very little money or makes a lot of money. There's something in his soul that makes him want to work for himself. And I think a lot of Gaelic people understand this. I was listening to him. I was like, yeah, I understand. There's something in his soul that makes him want to work for himself. So I don't care now if you have a 9 to 5 or if you work for yourself or if you don't work or whatever you happen to do. I work every day. I get up. I mostly feel excited about what I need to do for the day. And I'm in digital marketing. What I do might not excite you, but that's why we are unique. When I make these videos, this is oibre to me in a way, but I feel excited about learning this. This is my learning process. I feel excited about learning this. I feel excited about sharing this. Sharing this is part of my learning process. I feel excited about sharing these ideas. And oibre. So oibre meant, and almost every Gaelic word has a much deeper meaning than the English words that happen to be translated into. So lá oibre, oibre meant your purpose, following your purpose, following your excitement, getting your tasks done that have to be done for the day, waking up and doing the important things, but feeling excited about these important things that you had to do. Now, oibre could be if you're going to the gym and you just want to work out in the gym and get strong and healthy. Oibre could be painting, could be writing if you're a writer. Oibre could be fishing. But oibre is anything that makes you feel excited about this and makes you want to just feel excited for getting up in the morning. That was oibre. It wasn't work as we think about it today. So la oibre was a very, very different thing from the weekday that makes you weak. The idea of la oibre was to make you feel excited, make you strong, make you full of life. It was to pursue the thing that made you full of life today. And for me, sometimes that can be working with an Excel spreadsheet, which you might find incredibly boring. So it's different for every single person. Your calling, what makes you feel excited, what you have to do. Even if, let's say you're watching this and you're unemployed, you're not working right now. There is something that makes you feel excited. Something. And your la oibre is about you beginning to do that now. Take the first step. Maybe it's a huge thing. Break it down into 100 steps and just do one of those steps. Whatever it is. Even if it's just walking to your office. Or if you don't have an office, even if it's sitting at your kitchen table. And if you don't have a kitchen table, maybe it's just sitting in the park and planning out your steps with a pen and paper. Your la oibre is the first step of whatever makes you feel excited. This is what the Gaelic weekday meant. It wasn't a day to make you weak. It wasn't a day to make you weak. It was a day to make you feel excited. Oibre is a completely different meaning. In the Gaelic world, oibre meant tending the land. It meant writing a song, it meant training your body. It meant play, if that was part for the child, when the child was playing. Now, we have other words for play for sure, but oibre meant following your curiosity, following your excitement. Or it could mean play for children. Because the children are learning through play, and also the father getting down on the ground with them and playing with them. That can be oibre too. So la oibre is very, very different meaning from what it is in English as berla. And it meant something very, very different. Today we're told that the weekday is a day we have to endure, we have to get through, and we're excited for the weekend. That was never true in the Gaelic world. The la oibre was a day where we felt excited, we got up and did the important tasks that we had to do. Including la oibre may have been bringing up children to be Gaelic, strong Gaelic men connected to their warrior spirit. That's a la oibre as well. Really, really important. So as Gaelic people, we should reclaim la oibre. We should reclaim la oibre for ourselves as a day of practice, a day of becoming more of who we are, a day of excitement. Now this may include whatever your day job happens to be. It doesn't exclude that. But what I'm saying as well is that you can look at your day job as something boring, something you have to enjoy, something you have to wait until the weekend before you can live. Or you can look at your day job as something to become more of yourself, something to feel excited about, you're benefiting people probably. I don't know, are you building houses? Are you an electrician? Are you fixing, you could be an electrician and there's a lady in her 80s who has no heat in the house. You could be changing her life just by fixing her electricity. You don't know. You don't know what ripple effects the actions you take in your la oibre have. You could be really changing other people's lives. So la oibre, it can also be a day of learning, a day of curiosity, a day of questioning, a day of remembering who you are, a day of becoming more. Even if you're not working, you can always become a little bit more every day. This is the Triscala. When you look at the Triscala, it's a circle. And it's a circle, and it's in ever increasing circles. So showing you the cycles. So there's a day and night cycle, there's a summer and winter cycle, and there's a longer cycle. So Triskel's showing you the cycles. But when you go through the cycle of a day, you are not the same person the next day as you were the day before. So that's why the circle is ever increasing. So Triskel is telling you that you have got to become more on every day over. You've got to become more and more and more and more on every day over. So even if even if you're not working, let's say you're not working, you can still become more every single day. Is that learning? Is that meditating? Is that maybe working out or training? Is that reading a book or learning something? Do I have a book here? Is that finding some of these books, which I'm trying to read? We have Michael Collins. We're trying to read these, yeah. We're trying to read these. Hard to find time sometimes. And it's about finding these books, or just becoming more of yourself. Or it doesn't have to be a book. It can be YouTube video. It can be all kinds of learning that's available online. It can be talking to ChatGPT, if that's your law arbor. But becoming more of yourself, whatever that means to you. So your law arbor is your days of purposeful effort to become more of who you are. And do something. Do 10-minute meditation, do 10-minute exercise, whatever. But your law arbor is your day of work to become more of who you are. And then you have your days at the weekend where you have your rest. Just for balance. That's just balance. And maybe your law arbor is 6 days a week. I don't know. But there should be one day of rest at least, and just for balance. And so there's a reframe. The reframe is the normal thought is I have to get through these days in order to get to the weekend where I'm weakened, or where I can at last rest. I have to escape these weekdays. The reframe is the law arbor. Is my day of purpose, is my day of becoming more, is my day of creation, is my day of building my law arbor. It's a beautiful reframe. It's been Alan here from Looking for Warriors. Tá ar lá an seo.